Okay, we're live. Okay, but I have to click one more button. Hi, everybody. Hold on there 1 second, Anita. All right, here we go. Here we're going live. Okay, this is kind of cool. Okay, I can see us that we're
You
live on
can?
Instagram, and now we're going to go live on Facebook. I think we're already live on Facebook. Hey,
Yes.
everybody.
Oops.
Hi.
Hi,
Okay,
everyone, if we're live.
let me make sure that we are definitely live on Facebook. If we're really, really live. Let me make sure. We would be. Oh, isn't this fun, all this tech stuff?
I know.
If you can
does
see
my head in.
us, you know what would be really helpful is if you put something in the comments.
Yes, if you guys put
Okay, let me
something
go
in
to
the
your
comments,
page and
then we'll
see.
know that you
Hold
can
on.
see us and hear us. Because we
Yeah,
have no clue. We can only see each
that
other,
would be
right?
really, really, really helpful. Right. We could just see, I can see Anita, Anita can see me, but we can also see comments if you say hi in the comments.
There's nothing.
I'm not sure about Instagram comments though. Oh, look, Instagram, we've got people. We've got people on Instagram. You are live, Mona. Okay, good. We're
Finally.
live
And
there. Maybe Danny can go on your page and see if we're live.
yes, exactly.
Okay,
He's looking at the
let's
screens
see.
now, so
We
he's
are
going to go
live
in
on
and look.
Anita's page. Okay, good. All right, we've determined that we're live anywhere, but for some reason the comments aren't coming through. Is anybody making comments? Let's see.
Let me see
If
what's
you
happening.
are on, hello. So Love Sunshine wrote a comment. Let me see if it's in our studio. Yes, it worked. Thank you so much for saying hello, because that totally worked. All right, everybody. So now that we've determined we're live all over the place, so we're using a software. I'm using a software that actually lets us go live on YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram all at once. It's very, very cool. So we don't know what platform you're seeing us on, but we know we can see your comments. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, we can see your comments.
Oh,
All
I
right,
can see
so
them
good
pouring
afternoon,
in now.
everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, someone from Nepal, New Mexico, Rachel Elizabeth from Connecticut, Camelia from Romania. Wonderful. Oh, this is so great. So very quickly, my name is Liz Dawn. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Celebrate Your Life Events. And next year in 2025, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary. And I'll explain
Ooh.
who we are in a moment. But the most important person in the room is right here.
The other
You're
way,
really
but no.
You're
I
really
thought you
here
were
for
the
me.
most.
We've got New York Times bestselling author and spiritual healer and teacher, the amazing, the fabulous Anita Marjani.
Aw. Together with the fabulous Liz Dawn.
Well, I'm over here for you. No, here for you. Other way. There you go. I know, isn't that
This
weird?
way, right? Are you
Uh-huh.
seeing me the same way I'm seeing you?
I'm seeing you. So you're this
So
way.
when I. Oh, for me, you are this way.
Okay. So
I think we're
confusing.
flipped for each other.
I think we are flipped. Well, it's wonderful to have you here, Anita. I'm so excited to have the opportunity to talk with you. And for those of you on Facebook, we can see all of you writing your comments. And please remember, if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comments and I'll ask Anita questions.
Yeah.
But let's start with you, shall we? Let's talk about, we all know that Anita had a very powerful near-death experience many years ago. I could say many years ago now.
Yes.
And there are so many things that you've learned and you're actually now teaching from that experience. I'm glad you turned your cell phone notifications off. Let me make sure I do this.
Yes, you heard.
Oh my goodness. So I'd love to know, like, some of the things that I know that you talk about is living fearlessly, really stepping into your authentic self. And can you talk a little bit about that, about living fearlessly and how this kind of tied into the experience you had and how it just massively changed your perspective on being a human being in the world, a spiritual being having a human experience. So, how did that all shift for you?
Okay, so I love that question. So when I speak about living fearlessly, I want to be clear here. I'm not necessarily telling you that to never be afraid of anything. What I am telling you is, for me, living fearlessly and being authentic go hand in hand. I'm specifically talking about being yourself fearlessly, because for most of us, our biggest fear is being who we are, because we are afraid that who we are is not good enough. And that's why I had the illness that I had, is because I spent my entire life beating myself up, believing I wasn't good enough, trying to be someone I'm not. I was a doormat. I was a people pleaser. I was always trying to be what everyone else wanted me to be, because one of our biggest fears is disappointing people. Another one is shame. We're so afraid of being shamed for who we are. So when I talk about being fearless, what I really mean is being fearlessly yourself. So it doesn't mean that you suddenly become unafraid of, say, bungee jumping, if that was never your thing. You know, and
Right,
it
right.
and it doesn't mean that you become unafraid of taking risks, but it does mean that you can look at yourself and be okay with being afraid of taking risks, or being afraid of bungee jumping, or being afraid of a surgery that might be coming up. So in other words, what what a lot of people do is, when they feel afraid of something, they beat themselves up. Now, I want to give you like a typical trap that people fall into, when, especially, people give this back to me when because I speak about being fearless, and someone might come up to me and say, "Hey, I want you to do such and such and such." And and what they want me to do, it might be a project, it might be a video, it could be anything. And then I'm checking in with myself, and it doesn't resonate with me. It's something I don't feel I want to do. And so I'll say, "No, it doesn't feel right. I don't want to do it." And they'll say, "What are you afraid of?" And I'll tell them, I'll say, "Oh, I'm afraid it doesn't align with me, and it's not in alignment with what I'm trying to put it. And I'm afraid this will happen." And they'll go, "You talk about being fearless. You should listen to your own message and be fearless and do this." Now, here's the thing, and this is the part I want people to listen to carefully. With me, the old me would have been afraid to disappoint them. That's the fear I'm talking about. I would have been afraid to
Mm,
disappoint them, and I would have done this for them because I would have been afraid to disappoint them. The point here is, I am being unafraid to honor what I want and what I
mhm,
feel.
mhm.
And that's what I say to them. I say, "No, when I talk about being fearless, it's about being fearless about who I am.
Right.
And the person I am is not feeling aligned with this." And so I turn them down. The old me would not have been able to turn them down. So it's not about being fearless to enter into the project. It's about really being fearless about honoring yourself, even if it means disappointing other people. And sometimes you do need to do things for other people that don't feel right. But be aware, be fearless about being aware that, okay, this is not me, but I need to do it for them, and be aware that's why you're doing it. But our tendency is to beat ourselves up and say, "Oh, I should be doing it for them. I shouldn't be feeling that way." There's no shouldn't be feeling a certain way. So I hope I've been able to clarify that.
Oh, that is perfect. I love it. So it's really about just fearlessly being able to, and I don't know if we ever fearlessly can express ourselves and be authentic. It's like feeling the fear and doing it anyway, of living authentically and living from the true self.
Yes, and even if you don't always feel safe in expressing it, you always have to be honest with yourself. At the very least, be honest with yourself. You can even say to yourself, "This scares me. So right now, how should I handle it? How should I move forward in this? I want to honor what I'm feeling. I'm feeling sensitive. I'm feeling delicate. So living fearlessly doesn't mean like, oh, I shouldn't be scared of this. Let me repress it. It's not that. Let me push
Mhm.
down the fear.
I
It
get it.
means, yeah, it means being fearless about honoring who you are and to stop worrying about what other people think of you.
Oh, that's so hard. Okay, so Vivian asked a great question to jump off of exactly what you're saying. So Vivian asked, how do you process disappointing those that we love? So I'm going to show that on the screen. So Vivian asked, how do you process disappointing those that you love? Great
So,
question.
yes, which is a great question. So, here's what I would ask you. I would say, whatever it is you're doing that is disappointing them, is it, are you doing something or requesting to do something that impacts them? Or is it just something that impacts you? So, in other words,
Mm.
when you're trying to please somebody or when you disappoint someone, are they disappointed because their life has been affected by your decision? Or are they disappointed because you're not doing what they want you to do? Are you doing it? So I want to find better words to articulate this, because if the person was in front of me, if Vivian was in front of me, I would want more details as to what the situation is. Because here's what happens is that when we do something for someone all the time and we're always there for them, like always put them first and always serving them, and now
Yeah.
you're tired and you want to do something for yourself, you're not taking anything away from them. You're just saying, okay, now I need to do this for myself. And they feel disappointed in you because they're not getting something from you that they want. Not because you are taking something from them, but because they're not getting something from you that they're so used to getting. So, in other words, they are not thinking of you. So, are they being selfish, or are you imposing something on them? And that's
Oh,
the question I would ask you. I hope I've been able to clarify that. So,
so yeah, no, I'm
the,
sorry. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, we did a retreat with Lisa Williams, with
Yeah.
renowned spiritual medium Lisa Williams, and one of the things that she was really teaching people about is self-love and inner healing, right? And so one of the things that she kept saying and drilling into us during the retreat was, you are the most important person in your life. You
Yes.
are the most important person in your life. Well, how many of you out there were ever taught that? Well, probably none of us were ever taught
None.
that, because the most important person in our lives, of course, was, maybe our mother, our father, our spouse, our sister, right? But
Yes.
we're not the most important person in our life, but now we are learning we are. So we are, because you want to expound on it, go for it. Because I know that you agree with that, right?
Oh, 100%. We
Yeah.
really are, because if we don't take care of ourselves first, we're not there for everyone else. So I am going to tell you that I never realized I was the most important person to myself. And I grew up learning to put everybody else before me. Everybody, to be in service to everybody, to be a good, in my case, to be a good Indian girl, groom myself to be a good wife someday who will serve
Right.
her husband. And so I was really being groomed for that kind of a life,
Right.
possibly an arranged marriage. And so I was such a doormat,
Mhm.
always seeing that everyone else's needs were met. And if I was to even meet my own needs, I felt selfish. I could not do things for myself. And if I ever did, I had to justify and justify. And so one day, um, so even my best friend had cancer, and I was there for her, and I completely neglected my own life, my own health, my own family. And then one day I found a lump on my neck, and had it biopsied, and it came back as it tested positive for cancer. And, even though the first wave of feeling was fear, the second wave, the underlying feeling was, now I have a reason to take care of myself. And and this is what I want people to know. Don't wait for that reason. And so what then happened, and that was such a gift for me, getting that illness, because even when I had the illness, I was able to have a good reason to not be there for everyone else. However, the disease progressed, and as it progressed and I got worse, I was unable to receive help from anyone else because I didn't feel I was worthy or deserving, and I felt people had better things to do. So people come to you and they say, can we help you? Can we cook a meal for you? Can we drive you to the hospital or for your treatment? And I was like, no, it's okay. I can manage. So Danny and I, we managed on our own, but I always felt, no, I don't want to impose on other people. I don't want to impose on other people. All the way until I died. And I'm not exaggerating here, that it was not my illness that taught me that I am deserving and worthy of love from myself and from others, and help from others, and to receive from the world and others. It was not my illness that taught me that. It was death. And I don't want people to wait until they die to learn that.
Thomas just said, don't wait, repeating what you just said in quotes, don't wait for that reason. That's really powerful. It's true. Really, don't wait for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely don't. You are worthy, deserving. And I told you I grew up being in service to everyone, and I was taught to see God in everybody's eyes. In death, for the first time, I saw God in my own eyes. And I realized that just as much as everyone else is an expression of God, so am I.
Oh, Anita, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I had a little wake-up call not too long ago. Not as serious as your wake-up call, but it was a wake-up call just the same. And I was recently talking to a friend and got through it and healed and went through it. And she said to me, Liz, you had this wake-up call, but you're still sleeping. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, not taking care of myself, not taking time, putting everything first, putting the business first, putting not necessarily everybody else, because I don't have children to necessarily put first. I have a husband and family, but certainly I've always put other things first besides myself.
It's hard to change.
It is. And it's, so tell me, okay, without having that wake-up call, because maybe some of you are thinking the same question, without having to have that wake-up call, without having to have that oh shit moment in your life, how can we begin to put ourselves first, begin to give that love, to see how did you say that, ourselves in God's eyes, or the God within us?
Yes, to see that we are expressions of God.
Okay.
Or
Can
source.
you give us a couple of ideas of how to even begin to do that process? I'm sure some of you might want to know that, right?
Yes. So it starts with really asking yourself, what am I doing each day? And so this is a huge thing, which I usually teach in my workshops. So I'm going to see if I can compact it, condense it right down so people get the gist of it.
Okay, but we're going to talk about a workshop you are teaching. So stay tuned for a really, really, really great announcement, you guys. All right, go for it.
So what I tell people is that, I say, if you did love yourselves, what would you be doing? What would your life look like? And so I like to use the example, if we are expressions of God, we are life force energy. So you're filled with this life force energy. But when we don't love ourselves and we do things that are not aligned with who we are, we deplete our life force energy. when we do things that do align with who we are, our life force energy actually expands. We feed our life force energy. So to give you an analogy, let's say that let's measure our energy in units. Let's say your energy is a currency. And let's say when you have a good night's sleep, you wake up in the morning, you wake up with 12 units of energy and you feel good. You have 12 units of energy to play with during the day. So now, how do you spend those 12 units of energy? Let's say you go to a job you hate and you don't like your boss and your boss is a bully. So you go to that job and you expend 4 or 5 units of energy just being at work. You're dealing with the boss and you come home and you're down to 7 units of energy. And then let's say you're in a relationship that you're not happy with, but you're too afraid to leave the person, but you don't like being there with them. And you deplete another few units of your energy. And because you hate your job, you have all these bills that piled up on your desk. You look at your bills and a few more units of energy go down. And then you go to bed. And because you've had a bad day, and on your way home from work, there was a lot of traffic. You were stuck in traffic. And so you go to bed and you're spent. All 12 units of energy are gone. And you have a restless sleep because you're worried about things. So the next morning, because you've had a broken sleep, you only wake up with 8 units of energy. But you go through another day of going through traffic and eating an unhealthy breakfast, and your energy, not only the 8 units of energy gets depleted, but you go into energy deficit. You spend 12 units. So when you go to bed, you're at -4. Now you think every day, day in and day out, you're going into an energy deficit. That is a sign of lack of self-love, self-loathing, and eventually you get that wake-up call because you go deeper and deeper into energy deficit. Now, if you really loved yourself, this is what your life would look like. And you can start with baby steps, but this is what your life would look like. You'd wake up with your 12 units of energy. You'd eat a breakfast that supports and nourishes your body. And so let's say you add another 2 or 3 units of energy, you've got 15 units. You would be working at a job or a mission or something that feeds your passion. You'd be doing something that you love to do. And I'm not saying there will never be crisis or there will never be things you don't love to do, but stick with me. So let's say your job gives you another 4 units of energy. So now you're at, let's say, 18 units of energy.
So we've added energy, guys.
You added, yeah, because when you are like, when I go and speak at an event, when I'm there doing an event, I love it so much. It gives me energy. It doesn't deplete me.
Right.
And every time I get an invitation for an event, and I have to deal with this all the time, and this is the challenge I have sometimes. When I get an invitation to speak at an event, my team are trained to ask a lot of questions. And when the producer, like, I know I love doing events with you, Liz. I know they feed my energy. And then that energy goes to the audience. But I don't feel that way with every event invitation. And once my team gets all the information and they already can tell, like in the beginning, they had to present it to me, but now they already know. They say, oh no, Anita's not going to do this. We're not even going to let her do this, because they can tell that, that what's being required from me is going to deplete my energy. But when you start thinking in terms of what feeds my energy and what depletes my energy, doing things that feed your energy is an act of self-love. And it could be anything from playing with your pets, playing with your children, your grandchildren, spending time with friends, going out for a nice meal with people you love, soaking in a hot tub, taking time off, going and doing pottery
class.
Of those things. Yes, pottery class. So all these little things add up your energy. It's just about being aware. Are you in energy deficit or energy surplus? People who don't love themselves are in energy deficit. So start doing little things and tell yourself, if I did love myself, what would I do to add more energy? And I tell people who are sick and unwell and all, what would you do to have more energy surplus? Now, you're going to have to do things that cost you energy, but you want to be in surplus. It's just like money. You want to have excess energy so you can take care of aging parents or children when they're going through a crisis, or sometimes you will still have an illness here or there, or something that happens that catches you off guard. But you want to be in energy. You want to have energy assets to be able to deal with that. You want to be in energy equity. That is
This
what
makes so
self-love
much
looks
sense.
like.
This makes so much sense. I'm like blown away by this concept. How many of you, so for all of you joining us today, I want to know, because I love getting ideas from people, what is one thing? What is one thing you can do to give yourself energy surplus, to love yourself, to get to do one thing that you could do that supports you, not depletes you? I would love to see that in the comments.
That is so great. And it's going to be different for everyone. And read everyone else's so it gives you ideas.
Exactly.
We
Well,
have to
Wendy
read.
Broad wrote yoga,
Oh, nice.
nature. Okay, see, I think people are having a hard time thinking of that. Okay,
See?
saying no sometimes, traveling. Okay. I know for me, warm soup, love that. I just signed up to take, because I was in energy deficit and because all I was doing was working, I signed up for a pottery class.
See, I
And I
love
am
that so much.
the least craftsy person probably on the planet. Like, I'm super uncoordinated. It's not my thing. But I knew I wanted to play in clay and get all dirty. I'm having a blast. Okay, snuggling with your animals, proper sleep. Oh my gosh, I love all these answers. To paint, traveling, get enough sleep, laugh with a friend, dancing
Yes.
tango. Oh, Laura, I love that. Journaling and art, and taking time each day to enjoy simple pleasures. Walking, skiing, grandkids. Oh, I'm going to come skiing with you, Wilma. Dancing, I love it.
See?
Driving in the countryside. I call on my angel team and say a prayer for assistance. Watching spiritual YouTube event. Oh, I love it.
Oh,
Writing my puppy, meeting friends, listening to my most favorite fun music in the car,
that's
driving
what
to
I
work,
was going to say.
and also
Yeah.
listening to it at work. It boosts my energy level. Oh, I love that. Okay. When I honor my humanity and accept my shadows, when I don't judge myself. Beautiful. Oh, Barbara Nyman's in Thailand. So travel, journal, art, and travel and travel. Be of service, have a purpose. I love all of these. Nature and
They're
animals.
they're so
Retreat
good.
with celebrate your life. Okay, so this is a good segue. Thank you very much, Wendy Broad. All right, so one of the things, I start singing, I love that. So one of the things that I do that really, really makes my heart sing is my company creates these magical, powerful, life-changing conferences, retreats, women's summits, and we do some online things. But 90% of what we do since 1995, so you know what 2025 is, right? We do live events. And one of the reasons, and this is something that, Anita, you've been with us for many years. One of the reasons I love what we do is that we all get an opportunity to step out of our daily lives in a space that supports your life, in a space that supports you and doesn't deplete you, in a supportive, loving, kind community with all of these great wisdom teachers. And so we've got an event coming up with Greg Braden, Anita Morjani, Bruce Lipton, and Dr. Sue Mortar. That's coming up on January 16th through the 19th. It is a live in-person program in Arizona. I'm going to share the screen so you can all see what this is all about. And you can see the website URL at the top. It's soul.celebrateyourlife.com. So this is a very, very rare opportunity. Actually, this is the first time that all four of these powerful, brilliant teachers of science and spirituality are converging together for this unprecedented event. So it's Dr. Sue, Dr. Bruce, Anita, and Greg Braden, all in one powerful, life-changing program. And that is on January 16th through the 19th in Scottsdale. We're sold out. We have 3 different sections that you can choose from for all different price tickets. One of the tiers has sold out pretty quickly, and I think we only have 20 seats left in our platinum section, but we've got lots of general seats left. So I would check this out if you go to soul.celebrateyourlife.com. It's an amazing way to start 2025 with all the challenges in life that's been going on in the world. This is such a beautiful opportunity for all of us to come together to do something super, super loving for yourself that will support your life, exactly what Anita was talking about, to kick off this next year with brilliance, with kindness, with loving compassion for yourself. And we are proudly sponsored by Spirituality and Health magazine. So,
Yeah.
Anita, do you want to share anything about this event? Anything?
Yes, I can share with you what I'll be doing. But first of all, I want to say I'm excited about this event because events like this, they uplift my energy and it energizes me. And then what happens is we all entrain ourselves with each other and we increase that energy exponentially. And healings actually take place. Like people feel so much energy, their bodies actually start to feel healthier. And I want to speak a bit about what I plan to do. So first of all, what I just gave you, that little example of the energy currency, is just a little taste of the kind of work that I do. But what I do is I take people on deep journey so that they can get to experience their own soul, because I had a near-death experience where I was out of my body, and it was only when I left my body behind and realized that without my body, I still continue to exist. And I realized that I am much bigger than my body. And I was a soul that had a purpose and a reason for being here. And that's when I understood how loved I am and how worthy and deserving I am of love. And so I take people on a journey so that they themselves can experience that part of themselves for themselves. So it's a deep journey where we kind of simulate your own near-death experience without actually having to die or get sick or anything. And you will gain your own personal lessons from that. You will get your own insights. And then after the journey, I will teach you how to integrate the insights you got. I will teach you how, I will show you, we will go deeper into what I just said about expanding your energy so that you can be at an energy level, at a vibe where your life will start to attract more things that are aligned with who your soul is and what your soul came here to be. So
Wow.
that's basically what I'll be doing.
And I have to tell you, I've experienced several of the journeys that you take people on, and everyone is so different. And it is such an amazingly powerful experience. I mean, you create such a beautiful ambiance, and you really, really set the stage for deep, deep, deep healing, and for everyone to go inward, and for really to have that magnificent experience, to really understand the truth of who we are. I love
Thank
it.
you. I'm so glad.
In everything. That's what I love about it. I think I do this just for myself, right? Because I end up participating, and I'm apologizing just for a moment. I think we've lost connection to one of our links here that we were doing. So I'm trying to reconnect us, and I'm hoping that I'm doing this successfully. But I think we are still connected because I'm seeing comments here. But I guess we'll see that as soon as we're done, whether we're still connected or not. But I think we are. Anyway, I'm super excited about this program. I know that every time like we do an event, and especially with you, Anita, people walk away with such sacred aha moments that they've experienced. Their lives are just never the same. It's just different. You know, great
Wow.
realizations happen when you're in the space with all of these powerful teachers, and especially during your session. And what I
Oh,
love
thank
about
you.
this program is that all 4 teachers have such great respect for each other. I mean, you're all good friends, and you all have you revere each other in terms of the kind of work that each of you bring to the table.
We adore
So
each other. I know that's actually for me one of the biggest attractions of doing this. It's like you're just playing with friends. I love it because I love all three. I love all
I
three of them.
know.
And
Well, we're
and
we'll be doing panel discussions together.
yes, we will. And
Yeah.
the audience gets a chance to ask us questions. And exactly what you said is true. All 4 of us respect each other and we respect what each other has to say. And there's no one-upmanship or competing. And I love that. I love that
Yeah.
energy.
And I love the conversation. So during this retreat, just in case some of you have never been to one of our programs, we have the schedule on the website. We've got all the pricing on the website. We've got the location. We've got all the hotel information, everything you need to get yourself registered. We do a flow of panel discussions with all 4 teachers, and then each teacher will be doing a 3-hour intensive workshop. And then again, we come back and do panel conversations. We have meals together. It's just a really, really great opportunity to step out of your box, to step out of your comfort zone a little bit, because sometimes people come by themselves and they're nervous that you won't meet people. But truly, I've never had anybody walk away in the 30 years I've been doing this. I've never had anybody walk away saying, "Oh, that was a lousy experience," or "I didn't meet anybody." Oh my gosh. I swear I didn't pay Rachel to say this, but she said, "These events are incredible. Thank you so much, Rachel."
Oh.
I appreciate that. It's just a great opportunity for you to step out of your daily life, to be with these 4 powerful game changer teachers, to be able to know that there's a space where you can have conversations that support you. You could have conversations with like-minded soul tribe community.
Yeah.
So again, the URL is listed right on the screen. It's soul.celebrateyourlife.com, and I'll go ahead and post it in the comments again. Here we go. I just posted it in the comments, so hopefully you can see that, and come join us. Just come be with us. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah, we are. We're going to have a great time regardless. So yes, I love meeting the people who follow us. I just love meeting them and being in the room with them.
Yes, absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, that's all the great wisdom we have to share with you today. And we'll hopefully see you in January. Anita, thank you so much for spending some time with all of us today. This was a really, really great way to
Oh,
spend a Tuesday afternoon. And I've got some things now to work on.
thank you, Liz. Thank you as always for having me on.
All right. So stay right there in the green room. And thank you, all of you who tuned in today. Blessings.